and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Keep following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
It's that time. It's that time. It is that beautiful time. Welcome, my beautiful family, for the third session of Therapy Thursday for the 2023 calendar year. I'm so excited. Look at you being intentional with your spiritual and your healing growth. I'm so excited that you have joined us. Go ahead and tag somebody. Tag somebody, tell them to join us. And you know how I like to do. This is virtual, but we try to make it personal. Could you please find somebody up and down the timeline and tell them I am proud of you. You are continuing your healing journey. You are continuing your becoming journey by being intentional and coming to therapy. I see you. I'm proud of you. Come on in the room. For those of us who are fasting, I don't know about you, but God has just been giving so much revelation, so much clarity. The enemy is busy, but he is already a defeated foe. So we're gonna finish this thing strong. I want to encourage everybody who is joining us on our corporate fast or any fast that you're doing, depending on what church you're a part of, I encourage you to continue and finish strong. There is a lot, I mean, absolutely a lot that I want to share with you. So I kind of want to get straight to work for this Therapy Thursday. If you're a first timer, let us know this is my first time. And thank you so much for joining us. This particular Therapy Thursday session, I believe, is going to be extremely profound. And I'm going to be transparent and translucent. Transparent and translucent on giving us biblical and practical strategies on how to fight, how to battle, and how to war. I still deal with this myself. How to war and wire our brain to constantly believe God's promises and God's faithfulness over what we see. I need to say that one more time. This is going to help us. It's going to help us be able to know how to fight, battle, and war, to constantly wire the brain to think on the promises and the faithfulness of God, even when my eyes are telling me to believe something else. Because I can't speak for anybody else besides myself, but my eyes, my heart, and my mind are not friends. Don't judge me. Is there anybody else out there? Your eyes, your mind, and your heart is not friends. They are not friends. They are not romantically involved. Now,
Wait, hey, Rem therapist. Very interesting take, but I can take from it. Our minds, our hearts, and our eyes are not always in alignment. I hear what he's saying. Sometimes you get with somebody and your eyes approve. Sometimes you get with somebody, your eyes approve, but your psychology does not. Sometimes your eyes, your body, and your heart will approve and triple team your psychology. Everything in your being might be saying no, but your eyes are saying yes. Your heart is saying yes, right? But sometimes these things misalign and they bring people into our lives for what purpose? To expose and reveal blind spots that we may have. And whenever a blind spot is revealed, it's a good thing. It might be painful, but it's a good thing. Which leads me to my topic tonight. You guys have heard me say on numerous occasions, I'm not here to babysit your unhealed wounds. I know we live in a culture where somebody has basically said a good partner is also a good steward to the work you have yet to do internally. That's not a good partner, right? Like with our children. We can baby our children, yes, but is it a good thing? Is it a good thing to baby your children? No, right? You know there are some tough lessons that those children must learn in order to mature and evolve and understand the world around them outside of the safe space that they call home. So some lessons you got into it. Now I'm gonna need you to use your ingenuity to get out of it. And I'm going to walk you through the process, but I ain't going to do it for you. Sometimes, I remember they used to call that tough love, right? Yeah. Your partner is not here, listen, for tonight's topic, to make space for your ego. You've heard me say it before. I'm not here to babysit your unhealed wounds, and I'm definitely not here to make space for your ego. Do you see how toxicity, what we modeled in childhood, has really become the boss of how we choose our intimate partners? Tonight's topic, make space for my ego. Should my significant other make space for my ego? The ego's prison, how relationships become hostages to unresolved attachment wounds, how insecure attachment styles manipulate emotional space in empathy or in intimacy. Ego as your warden, ego as the jailer. Why partners feel trapped by each other's wounds. Do you feel trapped by your partner's wounds? That's a heavy question. Can trauma bonds disguise themselves as true love. Attachment wounds, when unchecked, weaponize the ego to control relationships, turning intimacy into a battlefield of projections and unmet needs. Are we mistaken dysfunction for devotion? Patrick Carnes' research on trauma bonding highlights how unhealed attachment wounds create toxic cycles of dependency and fear. Make space for my ego or I will leave. Is the demand for validation a form of emotional blackmail? How the ego uses validation as currency in relationship. Emotional blackmail or genuine need. Decoding ego-driven demands. Does surrendering to a partner's ego create and sustain a codependent dynamic? The ego's insatiable need for validation often manipulates partners into compliance under the guise of love. When does making space for the ego cross the line into emotional blackmail? Now, you guys know I love Marshall Rosenberg's book, Nonviolent Communication. He has a theory that offers tools to distinguish between ego-driven manipulation and authentic relational needs. You should get the book. We're going to delve into pieces of it into this topic. The false self crisis. Are you in love with a partner's ego instead of their soul? Instead of their character? Instead of the truth of who they are? Are you in love with their persona? The false self crisis. False self versus authentic self. How ego masks true connection. The soulmate illusion. Come on, y'all. Why relationships built on ego always collapse. Can you love someone without loving their ego? How much of your ego is in love with theirs? And if you guys overcame your ego, would it shock you if you guys broke up? 1-800-920-1580. Modern relationships often fall apart because individuals fall for the ego's performance rather than the essence of the person. Are you in love with a projection rather than a person? 1-800-920-1580. The ego is a mess. The ego is a mess. Y'all know that. Carl Jung's theory of the persona explains how individuals construct masks that shield their true selves, complicating relational dynamics. This is why you'll have anecdotal charms and ideas like happy wife, happy life. That is a performance. If I just do what makes her happy, I don't have to talk about what makes me sad. I don't have to talk about what I'm struggling with, what I'm fighting with. Ooh, y'all, hey, are y'all ready for tonight's work? Huh? How the fear of self-inquiry drives the need to escape into relationships. Ugh, that's ugly. Let me say it again. How the fear of self-inquiry drives the need to escape into relationship. I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to have to deal with the relationship I have with myself because there are a lot of things in me that I reject, that I suppress, that I repress. Man, let me go to the club and find something soft to squeeze on. 1-800-920-1580. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The ego's easiest fix. Blame, break up, then repeat. Did you want me to do it again? Oh, I love it. I love it. 1-800-920-1580. The ego's easiest fix. Blame, break up, and repeat. Can breakups transform into catalysts for spiritual evolution? They're supposed to. Breakups often reflect the ego's desperate attempt to avoid self-reflection. Does your relationships end mark a partner's shortcoming or your own fear of growth? You know, looking at yourself is uncomfortable. What happens if you attract a partner into your life that causes you to look at yourself? Are they a bad partner? Think about it. Is that a bad person? Are they disturbing your peace? Y'all not ready for tonight? Because the ego is all over this thing tonight. Are y'all ready? Let me read it again. Breakups often reflect the ego's desperate desire to attempt to avoid self-reflection. Does your partner's or does your relationship's end mark a partner's shortcoming or your own fear of growth? 1-800-920-1580. Carl Jung's shadow work framework highlights how people project internal fears onto partners instead of addressing their unconscious wounds. The toxic myth of unconditional acceptance. Should you really make space for your partner's ego? You know, their ego is like designer clothes for the soul. The ego is how they our wounds want the world to see them. I'm not wounded. I'm okay. Now I'm good. They lost. You know, they're lost. You've heard it before, right? Come on, 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. This is going to be a doozy. Unconditional love versus enabling. Where should partners draw the line? Does catering to a partner's ego sabotage your own self-respect? What? When making space for ego undermines authentic connection. Man, I got a lot to talk about, and I want to talk with you.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now that Donald J. Trump has begun a second term as president, please join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 to examine the question, where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? At the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. This Saturday, January 25th, some of LA's top elected officials, Representative Sidney Comlager Dove, Assembly members Isaac Bryan and Sade El-Hawari will be on hand for what promises to be a lively and informative conversation. Doors open at 8 a.m. The general session, moderated by Tavis Smiley and broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580, begins at 9 a.m. The event is free, but seating is limited. Registration is required. Go to the Empowerment Congress website at www.empowermentcongress.org to register. Where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? Join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580 this Saturday, January 25th. Doors open at 8 a.m. The free program starts at 9 a.m. Registration is required at www.empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
88 unread emails? Okay. New credit card? Delete. Congratulations, you've just won. Goodbye. COVID-19 news and delete. Wait, learn about treatment options for COVID-19. No and go. Okay, kind of catchy. Know that oral prescription treatment options are available for COVID-19 if you're at high risk. And go see your doctor if you experience symptoms or test positive. And forwarding that to mom.
Talk to your pharmacist or doctor if you or a loved one gets COVID-19. Know and go. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with any base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What is security? Outwardly may have an insurance, mortgage, all the rest. I won't go into that. One must have outwardly security, house, flat, tent, have some kind of roof under which one sleeps and lives, clothes, and all that. That one must have. Every human being in the world must have that. And that is being denied through nationalities. You understand? Through division. Britain, France, India, Russia, America, etc. So inwardly, is there security? One can invent an illusion. God.
Wait, pause it. He is old. Andy is in here laughing at an old man talk. He just put all them words together real fast. I know he got a thick accent. But he just said something quite profound. He asked the question, if there is inward security. See, the ego that we project outward, right, is designed to secure external security, right? Internal security is something that is cultivated through non-judgmental observation of self as it is, not moving away from the uncomfortable parts you discover. He asked the question, is there inward security? And because I believe the majority of people are insecure, the ego has a profound and secure, job secure position in most people's lives. When it comes to their relationship, the job security of ego is straight. He's not worried at all. The ego is like, I got a job for life. It's like Supreme Court. He's never getting fired. Do you see? Go, let Krishna finish.
So inwardly, is there security? One can invent an illusion, God, the ultimate illusion. And I can think one can hold on to that. And we have lived historically for millennia upon millennia in this illusion, with priest rituals and all that business. Power, right? Power, position, status. Outwardly, that's very important for...
Man, he's acting a fool. I love him. Every time he comes on, Andy starts giggling because he knows that accent is heavy. But that's okay. I'm here to ask the question. What is the spiritual cost of an ego that is out of control? Does the lower self block divine love in relationships? Psychology will tell you about attachment theory if you just look it up, read on it, you know. What about Helena Blavatsky's teaching on ego? The battle between the lower self and the higher self in intimacy. Can love transcend the ego's illusions? Because remember, a projection is but a mere illusion. The ego, as described by Blavatsky, acts as a spiritual roadblock, keeping partners trapped in cycles of fear and separation. Can love survive your ego's illusions? Blavatsky, her Secret Doctrine book, emphasizes the need to transcend the ego to access divine unity, a principle that applies directly to intimate relationships. It's very difficult for people to let go of the mold that broke them. Did you hear how I put that? It's very difficult for people to let go of the mold that broke them. It is the mold, right, that actually you pattern whatever flaw you have after. Do you understand? If you come from a mold, then how can your love be anything but conditional? Yeesh. Unconditional love sounds like an illusion. When I come forward, I see the phone lines are cracking.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. A new wildfire, the Hughes Fire, has burned 500 acres near Santa Clarita, California, and is 0% contained as crews also battle the Palisades and Eaton fires. Strong winds are pushing flames through canyons and up hills. Former Black Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms is criticizing President Trump for targeting her on social media, noting she had already resigned from the President's Export Council before he claimed to have fired her. She urged him to focus on global issues instead. The Supreme Court will rule on police immunity in a Houston case where Constable Roberto Felix fatally shot a black driver fleeing a toll stop. The decision could open the door to more excessive force lawsuits. And Reverend Al Sharpton is urging a boycott of companies reversing DEI programs. Speaking at a MLK Day rally, he emphasized King's fight for equality and said the National Action Network will target at least 2 companies within 90 days. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Keep following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
very moment a woman discovers she cannot feel safe with you, the relationship is over. You cannot have your lady feeling safe if your bed is filled with lies and you're flirting and you're texting on the side. The reason that relationship been rocky is, brother, she don't trust you. And here you are doubling down, asking why this woman isn't showing up for you. How can she thrive in a place where her biggest antagonist is you? You are the man that's supposed to save her and shield her from storms, but yet it seems like mostly you're the creator of hers. Gone are the days of men only thinking that you have to be a protector physically and a provider financially. Do you protect her mental health? Do you protect her emotions? And do you protect her from your demons? Do you provide structure? Do you provide trust? Do you provide honesty? At some point, we've been taught as men so much to be a protector and provider, but nobody taught us what the that actually means.
What in the Sam hell is going on? Listen, I know what I'm about to say is going to sound counterintuitive. I understand that what he said was very palatable. But that is what makes you a prisoner, ladies. What part of your insecurity manifests as mistrust for him? This is not to say that there aren't some bad men out there. This is not to say that there aren't some bad women out there. What I'm saying is, whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove, right? What happens is, because we're internally insecure, we're looking for insecurity everywhere else, or we're looking for mistrust everywhere else. It's in us, so we recognize it in the world. I know people don't want to hear that. You're looking for a safe partner to keep you safe from your wounds and his. Come on now. Is that a realistic expectation to have? And yes, it sounds beautiful. It sounds like Prince Charming. But Prince Charming can be found in fairy tales. The real work in intimate relationship is internal. Everybody's looking for a safe partner to where they can go, I can breathe, and you know what? This is a good person because when I trip out or get triggered, they don't trip. No, you have to grow. You can't stay there. You can't find a partner. It's not smart to do this, in my opinion, to find a partner that's going to babysit your wounds. Because let me tell you something about your wounds. If they're being babysat, they won't grow up. They'll be perpetual children in your spirit. Do you see? So yes, I'm listening to this brother, and I'm saying, okay, in a intuitive way, what he's saying speaks to a particular demographic, a gender. Yes, that's what I've been looking for, but you should not be looking for that. You should be looking to go into Plato's cave. That's it. Do you know the story of Plato's cave? We'll talk about it in a minute. We've got callers on the line. I want to talk to them. Who's been on long? Ronan, Indianapolis. Ronan, what are your thoughts, my friend? What are your thoughts? Am I here to make space for your ego, your fears, and your unhealed wounds? Am I supposed to, do they get the back house? Talk to me, man.
In most cases, you have to look at how things are mislabeled, because what people believe is love is mislabeled as lust.
So you're saying love is mislabeled as lust in many cases?
Well, the thing is, like, when it comes to, because a lot of us like to write this script in our head. So we don't look for people who are asset who will make us better. We look for supporting actress or actor.
Okay, hold tight, because this good right here. Hold on. Wait. First off, I'm going to push back on the asset piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we could be an asset to each other. Do you see? In the conventional sense. Because many people think an asset is somebody who brings something to my life, who elevates me, right? Now, what they're really talking about is they make me comfortable, they cater to my wounds, you know, they have resources, they're connected, we're somebody. Do you see how the ego is in play? When I'm together, we're somebody, right? We're doing things in the world. So when you say make me better, elevate me, typically that's what they're talking about. Now, here's what you're saying that is where it aligns 100% to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The person who really elevates you triggers you.
Yeah.
See, but I'm saying in the context of modern day relationships, it's backwards, right? It's inverted. They're running away from the trigger. They want the trigger quiet. The person that elevates you triggers you. Talk to me, bro.
Well, it's true, and it goes back to the mislabeled thing. Nowadays, what they call an asset is what they're hiding as an accomplice.
Oh, Lord, here we go. Keep going.
So the thing is, like, when we pattern our lives or relationships, most times the most exciting ones always have a terrible to-be movie script. The musical score is trash. The casting is terrible, and it's intentional because we get this level of dopamine when we're dealing with people who we know don't fit or make us comfortable running from ourselves. We have a comfortable distraction.
Hold on. You don't get to just roll past that. You called it copamine, not dopamine. Copamine, yes. Coping as a form of dopamine. Man.
Yeah.
Explain copamine to me real quick.
So the thing is, like, if any addict will do anything for that fix. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to copamine, they'll do anything to run from themselves. Anytime they look in the mirror, they see what they have to work on. But let me go find some trauma to get that next high. To stay here and just deprave myself just for that next fix. But you see the cost of doing so. You've lost a lot of part of yourself. And when you have a person who's an actual asset, they will challenge you. Mm-hmm. They'll sit there and allow you to fix and tame your ego rather than your ego run around and punk you in the streets and get entertained by it.
This is so powerful because, again, we've been taught that the good partner doesn't trigger you or is easygoing or relationship shouldn't be that hard. And then on the flip side, you hear relationship is work. And
yes.
And it's really coming from a performative narrative. You have a gender role, I have a gender role. You have a responsibility, I have a responsibility. And if you neglect a responsibility, you're neglecting a relationship. But really, I've flipped that around. The real work is internal work.
Yes.
And if we're looking at relationship through Krishnamurti's philosophy, which is relationship acts as a mirror, then you're supposed to be triggered by your partner. And the real work begins when you recognize that that trigger is a mirror reflection of your inner personal curriculum. So instead of blaming, man, you always come in and you don't even know how to talk to me right. Whatever it is that gets us off, instead of us going inside and saying, why do I react this way? What's up with my emotional regulation? Why is it so difficult for me to find a way to regulate? Do I need therapy? Am I over what I modeled? Right? This is what relationship is designed to do. The ego is there, and of course, during that 18-month period, the fantasy period, the honeymoon period, we can perform as if we're that persona. But the closer we get, the more intimate we get, the more triggered we become. Talk to me about it.
So, see, I'm going to use myself as an example shortly. So the thing is, when it comes to actual relationships, why confidentiality is important, you have to cut off, you have to reestablish the foundation. But sometimes you might be inheriting not just that generational curse or traits, but their associations that they had that kept them sterile. You have to sit there, give them room to sit there and grow. So in my situation, I was messing with someone I knew I had no business dealing with. So my thing was, I was, I guess, enticed by that naughty nectar, and she was looking for that chaotic cadence for that tickle. And we became actually worse towards each other. Just anytime we sit there and argue, and I started seeing the worst parts of myself. And this person was comfortable being complacent, which scared the hell out of me. And I was like, I had to make a decision. No, this is not it. Before I destroy myself, I got to sit there and cut this person loose.
Stay with me. Don't go anywhere. Get to your phone lines. If you want to join this conversation and rebuff anything that my friend Ronan from Indianapolis has said, please call in. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Has your ego run wild and got you addicted to copamine?
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that 3 out of 4 adults in the United States have a high risk factor for severe COVID-19. And Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
That I recognize
As you tolerate your negative emotions, as you no longer need to avoid your negative emotions, then the ego will get healthier. Teacher asks a question, and I know the answer, but I don't want to look dumb. It is the avoidance of feeling dumb or being embarrassed that causes me to stay quiet. But if I acknowledge that, okay, I may answer wrong, I could feel embarrassed, and that's okay. I can actually handle a little bit of embarrassment. Like, I don't need to shape my life to avoid embarrassment at every turn. We're not saying we're going to go out there and do the most embarrassing things all the time, but like in this individual instance, like it's just a little bit of embarrassment. The teacher will correct me, and then like tomorrow, the embarrassment will be gone. Because the tricky thing is that the more we avoid negative emotions, the more egotistical we become, and the more restrictive our life becomes.
The more we avoid negative emotions, the more egotistical we become. Somebody's spirit got the bubble guts right now. They heard that and their spirit got the bubble gut. Let's just be honest. Many of us playing charades when we're dating, even when we're married, we're playing charades. We don't want to be found out. True or false? Authenticity disrupts the ego's carefully curated narratives, exposing relationships that thrive on illusion rather than truth. Can your bond survive the truth of who you really are? Can your bond survive the truth of who you really are? Or are you married to their ego and they married to yours? How big of a part does your ego play in choosing the person you love, quote unquote? I need to know. Ronan, get back in here, man. Brother. Copamine is the word of the night. Copamine. Man, please finish cooking. You were about to land the plane, man. You was getting close to your word here, and I want to get it all out. Go ahead, brother.
Well, the thing is, like, your ego is the biggest dopamine fiend. So it's going to use you as a vessel it needs to get what it needs.
Wow.
So it's going to use you. It's going to use people. It's going to use your skills. Everything authentic about you is at its disposal if you allow it. So this is why when you have friends or even intimate relationships, y'all have to basically break things down to how you communicate with each other. When you have those triggers, the best part is when you learn to turn those triggers into triumphs.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Trial stones. I'm with it. Let's go. Let's go.
So the thing is, like, when it comes to love, you start making a safe space, not just for your authentic self, the people you deal with. That's why the relationships start becoming healthier. The conversations become more productive. Like, you can trust each other. When you fall down, you know someone's got your back to sit there and stand up, and you're not embarrassed to be your genuine self. Because most times we get outside, we run out here and do cosplay like everything's all right, but we're torn up inside and basically run around with this sickness.
So let's take the gloves off. Wait a minute. Let's put the shovel in the dirt. Let's put the shovel in the dirt right now. First off, wouldn't it make more sense instead of, because I hear people using the term emotional labor, right?
Of course.
And that's another term that's about to be as misused and as burnt out as narcissism or mental health or all these other terms, right?
Emotionally intelligent.
Right? But wouldn't it stand to reason, if we're using logic, you have an expectation that your partner is supposed to create a safe space for you? Is that not emotional labor?
It is work.
Okay. So you're asking them to do the work. Okay. All right. Build a nest for your eggs and the woman. Okay, cool. Listen, wouldn't it stands to reason to me. You wouldn't have to ask them to make a safe space if you developed your own internal safe space. Do you see? If you become safe, when you're insecure, you're not safe.
Right.
So when you're not safe, you are demanding that someone comes in and makes it safe. This is why I said what the young brother was saying, and I'm not here to besmirch his character or his name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying this is the narrative, the popular narrative that's being pushed. He's supposed to come in and he's supposed to do Listen, knock it off. We're in 2025. This is Buck Rogers time. We're not supposed to have these old, antiquated, anecdotal beliefs anymore. They have to be rooted in something real. So you can't be someone's safety. You can't.
Yeah.
You could be respectful. You could be kind. You could be all of those things. But guess what? An insecure person is a dangerous person. They could take your kindness for weakness. They can weaponize your kindness against you. They can weaponize your consideration. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
All right, look, stay with me. Just stay with me. When we come forward, I'm going back to Indianapolis. We on fire tonight.
Trust